Hey everyone, it's me Jaime and welcome back to the Rooster's Den. Have you ever had a friend that's just a little too crazy, but you keep them around anyways? Well, in today's Commander deck tech, this fits our Commander to a T. But before we get into that, I first want to thank everyone for watching, and please do not forget to hit like and subscribe, and I also remind everyone about my giveaway. At the 300 subscriber mark, 600 subscriber mark, and 900 subscriber mark, I will be giving away one of these three secret layers. At the 300, they'll get the first choice between the God of War, Horizon, or Uncharted. 600, they get to choose between the last two, and the 900 one gets the final one. Now, you got to be a subscriber to the channel to be eligible for this. It also helps if you like the video and leave a comment in the comments. Alright guys, that's it for that. You know what we got to do now? Hit the music. Today we're diving into a deck as fierce, brilliant, and terrifyingly efficient as the Fire Nation's prodigy herself. That's right, Fire Lord Azula is taking command of the battlefield. And just like in the show, her card captures everything that makes her so dangerous. Her abilities reward precision and planning, striking exactly where it hurts most, manipulating the board, and turning even the smallest advantage into total domination. She pressures opponents the moment she appears, just like Azula takes control of every situation she walks into. And with her mix of fire and lightning focused effects, she embodies both raw destructive power of the Firebender and the cold calculated precision of her lightning bending. So today we're building a deck worthy of the princess who conquered Bang Sing Se with nothing but her brilliance and her spark. Get ready to strike hard, strike fast, and show your opponents why fear is the greatest motivator. Azula is a blue, black, and red and 1 4/4 with Firebending 2. Firebending is whenever this creature attacks, add 2 red mana. This mana lasts until the end of combat. She also reads, whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy. The key word in that line of text is a spell, not just instants and sorceries. So I'm going to show you how we can break Azula so she can break the spirits of our opponents. Azula wants us to be casting spells during combat. So how are we going to do that without loading up our decks with a bunch of instants or sorceries and going full spell slinger? The first set of cards that help us accomplish this are these 4. Leyline of Anticipation, Vedalken Orrery, High Fate Trickster, and Valley Floodcaller. With any of these cards on the battlefield, we will be able to cast any spell in our hand at instant speed, thus being able to copy everything. So what are some cards that benefit from being copied? For the creatures of the deck, we have Fairy Mastermind, Slither Wisp, Archmage Emeritus, Enduring Curiosity, Leyline Tyrant, Storm Kiln Artist, Necron Deathmark, and Torrential Gearhawk. These creatures give you great enter the battlefield triggers, thus copying them just makes it doubly great. We get extra card draw, life drain, and graveyard recursion with most of these cards. Then we have our ritual effects, so our ramp even ramps harder. Cards such as Dark Ritual, you pay 1 black, get 6 black mana. Desperate Ritual and Pyretic Ritual, you pay 2 red, get 6 red mana. Seething Song, pay 3 red, get 10 red mana. All these cards give you an explosion of mana so we can storm off later. And with a card like Twinning Staff on the battlefield, the mana creation gets even more out of control. Next set of cards we're going to be talking about are the Firebender Enablers. Since we are playing the Fire Lord, it only seems right that we have other cards in the deck that firebend as well. The more Firebenders we have, the more spells we can cast. That being said, we have Firebending Student, Zuko, Firebending Master, Azula, Ruthless Firebender, Zuko, Exiled Prince, Firebender Ascension, Fire Nation Occupation, and the only land that allows you to firebend, Fire Nation Palace. With several of these cards on the battlefield, we will be able to generate enough mana to storm off for the win. Now, all of that mana won't mean a thing if we don't have cards in our hand to be able to spend that mana on. So we have a ton of draw spells in the deck to make sure we will have the answers we need when the time comes. Cards like Demand Answers, Thrill of Possibility, Big Score, and Unexpected Windfall all allow us to draw 4 cards once we've discarded a card. And in the case of Unexpected Windfall and Big Score, they will also generate us 4 treasures to help us mana ramp. Then we have Frantic Search that would allow us to draw 2, discard 2 twice, allowing us to filter our hand, and it untaps 3 lands, so it gives us the opportunity to be able to cast more spells during that turn. With all the value we're going to be generating, Azula is going to be the #1 target of our opponents for removal, so we're going to need interaction. Cards like Redirect Lightning, Deflecting Swat, Fierce Guardianship, and Mana Drain all either counter the spells outright or redirect whatever removal spell our opponents are casting to another target. Then cards such as Into the Floodmaw, Lightning Bolt, Lightning Strike, Snap, and Deadly Rollick will all remove 2 things or more from the battlefield. Then we have the 2 main finishers of the deck. Nexus of Fate, which will give us multiple turns to figure out a way to win, and since the card gets reshuffled into our library, we could do it again at a later time once we draw it. And then we have Comet Storm, the ultimate mana dump card. This card will one-shot all of our opponents at one time if we have enough mana. Since we were in Grixis, we will need to ramp out in the early game if we want to pull off our plan. Artifacts such as Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Talisman of Creativity, Dominance and Indulgence, along with Thought Vessel and Bender's Water Skin will all help us out with that. We also have Swiftfoot Boots and Lightning Greaves as extra protection pieces for our commander. With a commander that doubles our spells, you know there are tons of ways to combo off. Any one of our spells, along with Narset's Reversal, basically allows you to cast 3 copies of that particular spell while putting both of those cards in your hand. Narset's Reversal reads, copy target instant or sorcery spell, then return it to its owner's hands. You may choose new targets for the copy. So, for example, we cast Lightning Bolt at our opponent's face. Azula sees that, copies Lightning Bolt. We then, before the spell resolves, we then cast Narset's Reversal, targeting the original Lightning Bolt. That bounces the Lightning Bolt back to our hand and then creates a copy of Lightning Bolt, targeting our opponent once again. Then Azula sees Narset's Reversal, copies Narset's Reversal. We have that copy, the original copy of Narset's Reversal, thus bouncing the original Narset's Reversal back to our hand. The copy of that Narset's Reversal, we choose to copy the original Lightning Bolt, thus it's still bouncing back to our hand, but it creates a 3rd copy of Lightning Bolt. So we have 3 Lightning Bolt triggers, dealing 9 damage to our opponent's face, or 3 separate targets, whichever way we want to go about it. We can do this with other spells like Into the Floodmaw, being able to bounce 3 target creatures back to our opponent's hands. Deadly Rollick, being able to exile 3 creatures. Thrill of Possibility, being able to draw 6 cards in one swoop. Or Unexpected Windfall, drawing 6 cards and then creating 6 treasures. We could even do this with Nexus of Fate, thus giving us unlimited turns, because during our next turn, once we untap all our lands, we attack with Azula again and do it all over again, and we just take as many turns as we need to win the game, or they scoop. And that is it for my Fire Lord Azula Commander deck tech. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember guys, if you like what you saw, please do not forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It really means a lot. This deck is a ultimate tool chest for whatever you want to do. If you want to go spell slinger, if you just want to create a big board, I think Fire Lord Azula is an amazing commander, and I can't wait to play her in my pod. I'm Jaime Hernandez with the Rooster's Den, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.